Hey everyone. So I wanted to do this live stream because I have been trying to do this video for a while now. And it's been, it hasn't been working out. And so I'm like laying in bed at 4 a.m. and I'm in a lot of pain. So I've been out from work because I'm in just this gross amount of pain and thinking, I'm going to try this again. I'm just going to go live and we're just going to go ahead and do this on a live stream. So, I want to talk about Xbox Game Pass because I've been playing around with this and I really want to show everyone, especially the mobile game players. Now, the stream isn't for people who currently have Xbox Game Pass or have an Xbox system themselves. This video is more for people who, don't have the money to go out and buy a console themselves, that play only on their mobile device. And so I'm going to talk about how to transition your mobile device into a virtual Xbox console so that you can play all the games, because we just got an announcement at E3 about a week ago that Xbox is going to be releasing day one exclusives directly to Game Pass. They also just came out with an update that the cloud, which we're going to be talking about because cloud is for mobile, that cloud is going to be performing like Xbox Series X because of the massive upgrade they did. So we're going to talk about all the games that you can play, the differences between the cloud, console, and PC, because there's definitely some difference there. We're going to talk about the costs, because there is that monthly subscription cost. And basically the difference between going with Game Pass or going with a traditional console system where you buy each title by itself. So the first thing I definitely want to talk about is the cost. So the cost is going to be $15 a month for Xbox Game Pass Elite. That's going to let you access every game on the cloud from your mobile device. If you have a console, every game on the console version. And then if you also have a PC, you get to play PC games. For instance, Age of Empires 4 is dropping later this year. Day one, Xbox Game Pass. It is included in the subscription, so you don't have to pay anything for it and play it directly on your PC. Unfortunately, it's not going to be on cloud or console because that has never been a console game. So that's just going to be on PC. But we're going to talk about cloud. So as you can see, there's a couple of different control features. There's some games where you can use touch controls. I'm not a big fan of touch controls. I think they're way too clunky because what they're trying to do is they're trying to map the Xbox controller onto your screen. And I think that's really weird for me. Now, that's because I've been playing on a console for a very long time. You might have a different experience playing, if you're a mobile game period and that's all you play. But personally, I'd highly recommend going out and buying a $30 controller, syncing it to your mobile device, and using that controller to play your mobile games. The next thing I want to talk about is basically the game selection. So we're going to have, actually, I'm going to start from the bottom and let it load up. As you guys can see here, there are a ton of game options you can choose from. Some of them have touch controls, not all of them have that touch control mapped to the game. Some will require you to use a physical controller. If you go out to Amazon or Best Buy, you can buy a $30 controller, sync it to your mobile device, and you are good to go. So one thing I would tell a lot of people to do to set up that virtual Xbox system is you'll have that synced controller. Then you mirror your phone to your television. And there is a device out there, a couple of devices out there that if your phone doesn't have that capability, you can actually buy a device for your television where you can actually do that for yourself. Then you can just play with your controller and watch your TV. And it's all going through your mobile device. You definitely want to keep it plugged in. The downside to playing on the cloud is your controls are going to the cloud, going to and coming back to you. So there's typically that time delay. So what you're going to want to really focus on is that high speed connection. Playing at home, having I don't think I have the best high speed connection, but I have a good high speed connection. I think it's 50 megs. Um, and it does a really decent job. I don't really see any kind of difference. I think the graphics might come in and go out at certain times throughout the game, but it's not really too bad at all. So this could actually be the best way for you to be playing games on your mobile device and minimizing those costs. Minimizing those costs is a really, really big issue that I talk a lot about on this channel because I don't want anyone watching these videos to play any gotcha games where you're stuck because you don't spend enough money. And that's why I love Game Pass. The other reason I love Game Pass is you get to try out a whole bunch of games you never would have thought possible. And what I mean by that is when I got my Xbox and I started using the Game Pass, I found myself playing all these different types of games. The reason I could is because I didn't have to say to myself, is this game worth $60 or not? Cyanic, I agree. I hate spend traps. Is the game worth $60 or not? And so with Game Pass, you really don't have to make that decision because everything is available for you to play. Now, granted, when I was talking about cloud, console, and PC, the console is going to have the most amount of games. But what we've been seeing with Microsoft and what they really want to get towards is they want to move everything that's on console to cloud. The reason being is this is really Microsoft and Xbox's direction they're going. We saw that with all the games that they're premiering. When they're coming out with Halo, one of the most anticipated first-person shooters to come out in the near future, and they're premiering that on Game Pass, that's telling us that all these games are going to Game Pass for a reason. They're also going to be coming out with a television app and what we expect to be a streaming stick of some kind. And I'm guessing one, so that an Ethernet cable can plug into it so you have a higher speed connection. And two, you can pair a controller directly to the device. So it will remove your mobile device altogether and you can play on the fly with your mobile device. And then you can also just start up your TV and start playing on your television as well. So there are a lot of games that I'm seeing here that I've been playing myself, like Jurassic World Evolution. It is a huge guilty pleasure of mine. It reminds me so much of like Civilization with dinosaurs. And I get really irritated when my dinosaurs break out and start feeding on my visitors. But it's one of those games I don't really stream because I think it would be boring to watch, but it's so fun to play. And then, of course, we have all the Halos right there. So as you guys can see, these are all the games that are available through the cloud. And there's a lot on here. And I would tell everyone to at least do the trial version, get a controller, try it out, see what you think, and play games you normally wouldn't play. And that's where I found a lot of the joy in gaming again, is really playing games and challenging myself to, I was playing shooters and I've never ever wanted to play a shooter before. And I had fun. I had a really good time. The big takeaway I would tell you is remember that the games that are coming out to the Xbox Game Pass, these are exclusives. These are day ones. You don't pay anything for them other than the subscription. And this is really how Xbox is differentiating itself from PlayStation, because so many people have been going, PlayStation users have been going on the Xbox Twitter feed and, saying, "Oh, this sucks. This isn't the best console." And that's just the thing, is Xbox doesn't really care if you buy the console or not, because they don't make any money on it. And same for PlayStation. PlayStation makes very little money on it. And at the same time, the player doesn't want to have to put up $500 for a console. So the workaround that is happening with Xbox and their Game Pass, I think, is really, really beneficial for them, because they're getting that subscription fee of $15 a month from you. But also for you, because you're not having to go out and buying a $500 console. You're not having to go out and buy every single game you want to play. You just pay $15 a month, and that's it. And the Game Pass is constantly updated. We're getting new games. I think I saw that there's currently 260 games on the Game Pass. I do think that that number is taking the console version and not so much the cloud. That is the only downside right now. If you don't have an Xbox, is not every game is included in the cloud. But every game I just showed you was in the cloud. So at the end of the day, I'd highly suggest you give this a shot. Try it out, pair a controller, mirror it to your TV. If you don't know how to do any of that, message me on the Discord, and I'm more than happy to walk you guys through it. I will tell you that pairing the controller to my phone was a little tricky at first, but I got the hang of it, and now it just pairs automatically. So it's really no big problem. But definitely check this out, guys, for a great mobile gaming experience and being able to crossplay with your friends who are on Microsoft and on Xbox. But hopefully this helped you out a little bit. If you do have any questions, drop them down below. Jump in the Discord. Take care, and I will talk with everyone later.